It's clear we're not getting all the information. It's clear something's off here.
What if the story everyone's repeating about Charlie Kirk's death is a carefully scripted lie? It started like any other breaking headline: tragedy, outrage, and a flood of condolences. But within hours, something didn't sit right. The official story felt too neat, too polished. And now, Jaguar Wright is tearing it apart piece by piece. In a fiery live stream that's since vanished from the internet, Jaguar didn't just speak her mind. She detonated a bombshell that's got both fans and critics reeling. She claimed the investigation into conservative commentator Charlie Kirk's shocking death doesn't add up. Not in the timeline, not in the footage, and definitely not in the behavior of those closest to him. Her focus? Charlie's widow, Erica. According to Jaguar, nothing about Erica's response felt authentic. From her sudden silence on social media to the way she appeared in public, Jaguar says it all looked rehearsed. As if she wasn't mourning, she was managing a message. And here's where things get wild. Jaguar insists that the inconsistencies surrounding Kirk's assassination, from conflicting witness accounts to the FBI's rapid conclusions, might be hiding a far deeper, more political motive. She's suggesting this wasn't just random violence, but a move on a chessboard most people can't even see. Before you roll your eyes, remember, Jaguar's not new to controversy. She's made a career out of calling out what others won't touch. But this time, her words aren't just shaking up celebrity gossip. They're colliding with politics, media, and power itself. So, what exactly did Jaguar say that's turned the internet upside down? And why are some people now questioning everything they thought they knew about Charlie Kirk's final moments? Let's break it down. The drama really exploded after Jaguar Wright's now-deleted video started circulating through fan pages and conspiracy forums. In the clip, she wasn't calm or cautious. She was furious, her voice cracking between disbelief and outrage. Jaguar claimed she'd seen enough inconsistencies to make anyone question what truly happened that night. She began by replaying the footage that most viewers have already seen, the chaotic moment when Charlie Kirk was struck. But Jaguar paused on one particular frame. According to her, something was off. She pointed to what looked like movement underneath Kirk's shirt, something small, subtle, but, in her words, not natural. It wasn't long before her followers started speculating that maybe a hidden device or something mechanical had been involved. As outlandish as that sounds, it didn't stop people from digging deeper. Within hours, dozens of users started reanalyzing the same clip, claiming to spot evidence that lined up with Jaguar's take. Whether those claims hold up is another story, but it didn't matter. The internet had already caught fire. Then Jaguar turned her attention towards something even more personal: the widow's speech. Erica Kirk had addressed the public only once, in a brief, composed statement that many found oddly restrained.
I forgive him.
But Jaguar said it wasn't just the tone, it was the words themselves. Erica's speech, she claimed, sounded like a press release, not a plea from a grieving wife. And the part that made people's jaws drop? Erica's repeated use of the word they. She said, "They took something from me. They silenced him." Who exactly was they? To most, it was just a vague expression of anger. But to Jaguar, it was a breadcrumb, a sign that Erica might know more than she's letting on. From there, Jaguar's theories spiraled into something much larger. She hinted that Kirk's assassination might not have been an isolated act of violence, but part of a coordinated effort to shut him down after he began voicing controversial political opinions. The suggestion alone was enough to divide audiences right down the middle. Supporters said Jaguar was simply brave enough to ask the questions everyone else was too afraid to say out loud. Detractors called her reckless, accusing her of exploiting a tragedy for attention. But no matter which side you were on, one thing was clear: this wasn't just another viral rant. It was the start of a storm. And the next claim she made would send shockwaves across social media. Jaguar's next move took the story from wild speculation to full-blown controversy. In a follow-up live stream, she didn't just question the investigation, she went after the people behind it. According to Jaguar, the narrative being pushed by law enforcement was too perfect, as if someone had rehearsed every talking point before it ever reached the public. She alleged that the official timeline of events was filled with holes, especially the part about the supposed shooter. Authorities had identified a young man named Tyler Robinson within hours, claiming he'd confessed online. But Jaguar wasn't buying it. She asked one question that sent her audience into a frenzy. If the confession really happened, where's the proof? And just like that, the cracks began to spread. When Discord, the platform allegedly used for the confession, denied that any such post existed, Jaguar doubled down. "You see," she said, "they're building a story out of thin air." To her followers, that sounded like validation. To her critics, it was reckless, but it kept everyone watching. Then came her most shocking claim yet. Jaguar alleged that the real shooter wasn't some random figure fleeing the scene, but someone much closer, possibly even inside the same VIP area as Charlie Kirk when the fatal shot was fired. That idea alone changed everything. If true, it would mean that what the public saw, the suspect running, the quick arrest.
We've been talking about this. When we watched the impact, it wasn't like this.
Might have been a distraction. But Jaguar wasn't done. She turned the spotlight back on Erica Kirk, saying her calm demeanor wasn't the composure of a widow. It was the discipline of someone trained to stay composed under pressure. Jaguar floated the idea that Erica might have been strategically placed in Kirk's life, a kind of handler, someone meant to keep him aligned with certain political powers. She claimed that when Charlie started drifting from those interests, questioning alliances, criticizing policies, speaking too freely, the balance shifted. The same powers that once supported him now saw him as a liability. And in Jaguar's words, when you stop being useful to them, you stop being safe. No one could prove any of it, but the damage was already done. Screenshots, clips, and summaries of Jaguar's deleted videos spread like wildfire. People started comparing Erica's old interviews, analyzing body language, even dissecting her social media posts for hidden meanings. Supporters said Jaguar was connecting the dots. Others said she was destroying a woman's life with nothing more than guesswork. But either way, the views kept climbing, and the conversation took on a life of its own. Still, there was one final twist in Jaguar's rant that made even her biggest fans pause, because it went far beyond Erica or the FBI. The next morning, Jaguar Wright's claims had gone viral across every corner of social media. Hashtags linking her name to Charlie Kirk's death started trending, and YouTube was flooded with reaction videos. Some creators tried to fact-check her line by line, while others just fueled the fire, repeating her claims without question. But the real chaos began when other high-profile figures started chiming in. Candace Owens, a former ally of Charlie Kirk, publicly questioned parts of the official story, too. She pointed out that, for a university equipped with over 1,000 security cameras, the footage the FBI released looked unusually grainy and incomplete. Why, she asked, is the clearest moment of the night suddenly the blurriest on tape? Her statement gave Jaguar's theory new life. Suddenly, what had started as a fringe live stream began sounding like a coordinated chorus of doubt. People started connecting dots between Jaguar's suspicions and Owen's frustrations, claiming both women were hinting at something larger, a deliberate effort to control the story from the top down. Meanwhile, journalists scrambled to respond. Major outlets dismissed Jaguar's claims as baseless and irresponsible, but their tone only seemed to push her supporters further toward believing her. When the media rushes to silence someone, one commenter wrote, "It usually means she's telling the truth." And while that argument was spreading, online detectives were going wild. Threads emerged analyzing the type of ammunition supposedly used in the shooting, claiming the physical evidence didn't match the official description. Others compared screenshots of the crime scene, suggesting inconsistencies in blood patterns or lighting. Every hour brought new discoveries, and with them, new theories. Some even began questioning whether the man authorities arrested was a scapegoat, placed there to close the case quickly before too many questions piled up. Through it all, Jaguar's voice remained steady and defiant. She kept insisting she wasn't accusing anyone directly. She was simply asking why so many details didn't add up. When a story feels this managed, she said in a later live stream, it's because someone's managing it. But for every person who praised her courage, another accused her of reckless storytelling. The widow, Erica Kirk, became the target of online harassment, with strangers dissecting her every move. Critics said Jaguar had crossed a line, that she wasn't exposing the truth, she was fueling hysteria. And yet, the one thing everyone agreed on was this. After Jaguar Wright's comments, there was no going back. The public's trust in the investigation, and even in the media itself, had been shaken. Still, there was one more layer to this saga, a question that stretched far beyond Charlie Kirk's death. What if this wasn't just about one man, but about the system that controls what we're allowed to believe? As the days passed, Jaguar Wright's claims evolved from speculation into a full-blown movement. Thousands of viewers began rewatching old interviews, dissecting press conferences, and demanding transparency from investigators. What had started as one woman's emotional outburst was now being treated like a digital investigation with millions of self-appointed detectives. But beyond the noise and chaos, something deeper was happening. Jaguar's message, whether you believed it or not, had struck a nerve. People were tired of being told what to think. They were frustrated with neatly packaged headlines and carefully worded statements that seemed to dodge the real questions. In that sense, Jaguar wasn't just talking about Charlie Kirk's death anymore. She was talking about a culture of control, where powerful institutions decide what's safe for the public to know. She drew comparisons to other high-profile cases where narratives shifted overnight, where witnesses disappeared and evidence conveniently got lost. And though many of her points lacked proof, they fed into a larger mistrust already simmering beneath the surface. Even critics who disagreed with her couldn't deny one thing: Jaguar had reignited the public's hunger for accountability. Suddenly, the same people who'd once scrolled past political headlines were now demanding answers. Who benefits from these tragedies? Who controls the story? And why do we always seem to learn just enough to stop asking questions, but never enough to understand the full truth? Still, for all her fire and passion, Jaguar's story also serves as a warning. The line between raising questions and spreading chaos is razor thin. When speculation goes viral, it can destroy reputations, mislead millions, and overshadow the real facts waiting to be uncovered. In the end, the truth about Charlie Kirk's death may be simpler, or far darker, than anyone realizes. But one thing's certain. After Jaguar Wright's explosive claims, the conversation around media, power, and hidden agendas will never be the same.
So, what do you think?
Was Jaguar Wright brave for challenging the official story, or reckless for stirring a storm with no solid proof? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on how this story unfolds, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell, because things are only getting stranger from here.